What's up, sisters? So today we're going to be reviewing the Smok Nord. It was released at the tail end of 2018 and is one of the latest pod-style systems. This kit does, however, feature a pod that is replaceable with regular and mesh coils. The Nord seems to be the successor of the Novo, which received quite a bit of praise by some users, even if it did contain some issues. So now for an overview. So jumping right into it, the unit itself has a battery right along here. The function button consists right here, and the USB charging port is right there at the bottom right here. It is right to mention that this is a standard micro USB as you see on most machines nowadays. I'd like to see more vapes featuring a USB-C style port, since when I go climbing, motorbiking, or running, I want to be able to use one charger for my phone, my GoPro, and hopefully one day my vape. But that may just be a me issue. Also, a quick FYI, the pods and coils cannot be used on the Smok Novo, since I've seen some people be talking about this online, so there's just confusion around this. The actual battery's got a good sturdy feel to it. I never found it to be too heavy so it won't drag your pants down when you're at concerts, parties, or other get-togethers, but at the same time it maintains a good balance. It's not too light. It doesn't really feel that cheap, which is nice too. For me personally, I like small, heavy things. I don't know, maybe it's just weird, but it has a nice feel to it and it doesn't feel too light, which is always a plus. The machine does not fall into the issue many vaporizers also suffer from, which is internal rattling. Now on to the design. Now I've heard differing opinions on this matter. Personally, I really appreciate the honeycomb pattern that you can be seeing right along here. For me, I just enjoy it. It doesn't look too tacky, but some people may not like this. Now, the good news is that if you're in this crowd, you do have some other choices available to you. You can get what they call their resin tag design, which looks like something straight out of an Alt-J or Glass Animals album cover, which is always nice. I decided to stick here with this green one, but you can always switch it up if you do feel the need to. Obviously not all of these colors and patterns will be available in all smoke shops, but you might just get lucky. Not much more is to be said than those aspects to the design, so let's move on to some specifications and a brief little tutorial on how to use this guy. So the battery is advertised as 1100, which is a huge pro in my book. It makes it so that you have a lot of juice lasting on a single charge. So for me, I don't smoke as much as the average white girl, but a single charge lasts me around 4 days, I'd say, give or take. So to charge, simply insert a micro USB right in the end here, and you'll see this little light light up to indicate that it is a successful connection. Now once the light does turn off, that does indicate a full charge. The LED button right here is very easy to use. It's a simple 5 clicks on, indicated by the flashing light, and then another 5 clicks off to turn it off again. Once the device is on, you hold down to fire and will be accompanied by a white flashing light right there. The LED on the fire button remains lit while you're firing it, which is always nice to indicate so that there's no misfires or accidental fires, which I actually haven't even experienced, which is another good plus. While the device is on, a simple 2-button press will indicate the battery level. I'm at yellow right now. If it's at green, it's more than 70%, yellow is 70 to 30%, and red is going to be 30 to 0. It takes about 90 minutes for a full charge, and for all of those people out there who are addicted, yes, you can vape while it is charging. For me personally, my one gripe with this is that I would rather a triple press to turn it on and off. For me, 5 clicks seems a bit rushed, get a bit manic at times, and also it's hard to count 5 presses. Especially when you're not really paying attention. 3 clicks is a much shorter time window, and that makes it a bit easier to turn the device on and off. Even if it does result in a few accidental on and offs, I would take that sacrifice. So now let's move on to maintenance. Changing the coil is very easy. The coil is situated underneath the pod itself, so turn the pod upside down and using your nails, get underneath it and pull it out right there. Put it back in, simply turn it, make sure that the little slots in the side are angled, and press it right on in. To fill up your e-liquid itself, you're going to turn the pod on its side, and right here, indicated by a nice arrow, you're going to pop that open. The space is nice and spacious, so it'll allow you to fill it up with any sort of nozzle and accommodate any size, which is always a plus. The box itself only does come with 1 pod. This unfortunately puts you in a situation where even if just this rubber plug here or any other little crack happens, you're out of luck. However, the box does come with 2 coils, so I guess you can replace the coil at ease. However, I would have liked to see at least 1 more pod because these are a bit leaky in some situations. The first coil that comes with is a 0.6 mesh coil, which is obviously for larger clouds, and the second one is a regular coil 1.4, which is meant more for mouth-to-lung vaping. Both coils have a lot of airflow, which is again another plus. All in all, let's go over some the pros and cons. For the pros side, we have the color options that you have, a sturdy build, the battery life, the pod quality, the ease of use, the fact that there's been no misfires or auto-firing in the time that I've had this, very minimal leaking, lots of space for your e-liquid bottle, and many more that I may not have mentioned. We also do have some cons, however. In my opinion, it should have come with 2 pods. Very easy to break these pods, and it's always nice to have a quick replacement. And also, again, as I mentioned, it can be a bit annoying to turn on and off at certain points. Finally, I would like to mention that, as I mentioned before, there is a bit of a leak problem with this. You can see in the time that I've been recording this, I have multiple spots where liquid has come out, so I do have an easy fix for this. I've seen some inventions online of covering the lining here with nail polish and other sealants, because apparently the leak is happening up inside the mouthpiece. You can also take off the mouthpiece, but I have something a bit easier. So to turn on the device, simply as I said, press 5 times. There we go. And what you're going to notice is when you put it in the pod, you're going to be tempted to shove it in there, and it's nice, it's satisfying. It does give a nice click once you push it all in, but just keep an eye on that white light right there. And as you can see, it just flashed. So that flash actually means it is situated correctly. And as you can see, if I go a bit closer to the camera, there is about a millimeter of a gap between the mouthpiece and the actual battery. So I always originally just wanted to press this down. In fact, just leave it this way. It may be a bit more uncomfortable and a bit less satisfying, especially if a little tick, but this is actually how it's supposed to be sit. And I haven't had any issues with leaking since I started doing this. It helps, it doesn't have such a large thing, so air can get inside, cool it off, and it won't prevent such a condensation buildup in the top piece, which then prevents your leaking. So that's going to about do it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please leave a like and comment if you have any more questions about this machine, and I can try to get back if there's any technical assistance or any help, especially with the leaking problems. Overall, very satisfied with the device. Thought it was worth the money and a good addition to anyone's collection. Peace out.